Hare Krishna. So now you can buy the Krsnatarian Recipe book by going on the website and choosing the option you desire of either buying in India, which directs you to the Indian Amazon link, and outside India, which redirects you to the other website where the book is available in various formats which you can choose as per your preference. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Krsnatarian way of cooking. So today I'm very excited to share with all of you this video which is of Ekadashi. Because of many reasons I wasn't able to post specific days Ekadashi recipes, so I decided in order to compensate for that, why not to share with all of you multiple recipes of Ekadashi in one video. So in this one video, the major recipes which I have made are made from tapioca because it is kind of an universal ingredient, but they are made in different ways and they are very creative. Before starting with the video recipe, I would request you that if you are new to the channel, then kindly subscribe to it because this will encourage me to continue on making many such recipes, Ekadashi or non-Ekadashis, and add my creative skills to it. With the first recipe, I'm going to take half cup of tapioca. Don't add it now, just add nearly 4 to 5 cups of water in this pot and then a little bit of oil, or you can also add some ghee, and then I've added around 1 teaspoon of salt to it. Now once this water starts boiling, I'm going to add this tapioca in. Now the tapioca, I washed it several times in cold water, like 3 to 4 times, and only then I have added the tapioca in it. So for 10 minutes you have to allow the tapioca to cook on medium heat like this. The boiling will be going on. Now in a strainer, I'm going to strain the tapioca, drain out entire water, and then I'm going to couple of times wash this tapioca with cold water and then keep it aside. Make sure that the washing is done properly. All the heat and the starch should be out from it. Now keeping the skillet on medium heat, add a tablespoon of ghee. Now in that add a teaspoon of cumin seeds, 2 chopped green chilies, and then sauteed them. Now here there is potatoes. This potato is a small potato which was around 60 to 70% cooked. I peeled it and then cubed it like this. So first I'm going to add around a tablespoon of chopped ginger. The ginger is peeled and then chopped. Saute it for few seconds until it starts turning golden. Then add few curry leaves. Now add the potatoes. Now this potato you have to constantly stir it. So here also I'm going to use 1 medium size nicely chopped tomatoes. But this we're going to add later. First these potatoes, they need to be little bit brown in color. If you see, there is a little bit of this golden color. So once that color reaches, then you have to add the tomatoes. Around half teaspoon of black pepper powder. Then the tomato starts getting softer. Press the tomatoes and then add the tapioca. Mix completely well. Now once the tapioca is completely mixed well, I'm going to add around a cup of water to it. Now keep the heat on medium. Then add around a teaspoon of salt, not too much, only a teaspoon. Once it starts coming to boil, then just cover it with a lid and on low heat cook it. So now the tapioca has absorbed all the water. Keeping it on low heat saves the tapioca to not get burned or stick to the base. So this is exactly what we want. Now with little bit of ghee, I fried around 2 tablespoons of peanuts. So I'm going to add that. Mix it nicely. Now keeping the heat on low, garnish it with cilantro and then turn off the stove. Now empty it in a bowl. This is just another way of making the Sabudana Khichdi rather than the traditional method. Adding tomatoes and a little bit of this spice just adds up and gives a different kick flavor to the tapioca khichdi. Now garnish it with some more cilantro. Place a tulsi leaf and offer it at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So here ends our first recipe of the tapioca khichdi. Now let's go on to the second one. Now I've taken around 2 tablespoons of ghee. Keeping the heat on medium. Now here you see I have cabbage. This is around 2 cups of cabbage, shredded one. Bell pepper around half cup. 1 big tomato chopped. 1 slit green chili and half cup of chopped cilantro. First add the chili. A teaspoon of cumin seeds. Cabbage. Saute on medium heat. Until the color of the cabbage starts turning a little bit translucent and also you see a little bit of the color brownish. So once that happens, then add a cup of Samo rice. This Samo or samat is also used in fasting. I've made in the past also some recipes with this. Now during this time you have to reduce the heat to complete low. Roast the Samo and then add the bell pepper, which is also called as capsicum, and keep on continuously stirring it. After a couple of minutes, add around 4 to 5 cups of hot water to this. This was actually boiling hot water. Now the heat is on medium. Now I'm going to add salt around a tablespoon. This is Himalayan rock salt. Then I'm going to add the tomatoes, little bit of left capsicum. I added half capsicum before and then I added the remaining after that. Just mix everything nicely. Add a little bit of the cilantro leaves, chopped ones. Then cover it and cook it on low heat until the Samo absorbs all the water nicely. So you see this? So I wanted to have a check on it. So it has not been done yet. So I'll just cover it and again cook it for a few more minutes. Oftentimes I call coriander leaves as cilantro because that's what it is called here. So do not get confused with it. So here the Samo is ready completely. Now in a bowl I'm going to remove the Samo rice. I just love the entire texture and the flavor of this Samo, how it turns out. Very simple meal. You can eat it with chas or buttermilk. So garnish it with a little bit of more chopped cilantro. Place a tulsi leaf and offer it at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Let's go on to the third one. So here in a skillet, I have taken around 1.5 cup of tapioca granules. Now on low heat you have to roast this, remove the rawness of this tapioca. This I did for around 3 to 4 minutes on low heat, and then I emptied it in a big bowl and let it cool down completely. Here I have been boiling around 9 russet potatoes, like medium sized ones, and they are completely cooked. I'll keep it aside for cooling down. I've taken around 6 to 7 chilies here. Then I added a bunch of cilantro. Now I'm going to chop it. Needs to be finely chopped. This is how it should be. Okay, so now here I have mozzarella sticks. So I have just chopped them vertically like this and made around 2 inches of thick sticks like that. And the potatoes, after they were cooled down, I peeled them and then I grated them. Grating helps the potatoes to get evenly distributed into the mixture which we are making. So in this potatoes I am going to add the cilantro chili paste which we made, dry paste, and also the tapioca which was cooling down. I finely powdered it. Just use a processor or any kind of mixie grindy and then just finely powder it. Like the fine the powder is, the better. Then I added around a tablespoon of salt. Mixed everything nicely. Don't worry, the cheese is already salty, so that is why you do not add too much salt, because when the cheese melts, then there is another salt taste to it. So I've taken one portion of the tapioca, patted it like that, added the cheese in this manner, and then with gentle hands just rolled it like this. In this manner I made all the other rolls. You just have to make sure that you close the cheese properly inside it. So I made around 15 to 20 rolls like that, or sticks like that. So here the heat is on medium. Now I'm going to see, okay, the tapioca came up, so I'm going to now fry them on medium heat. But you have to do it half fry. It means it should be a little bit golden brown, and once this is done, see the cheese is popping out, so you have to remove it out and let it cool down for 5 to 10 minutes. Now by the time we will be making the simple fresh chutney. So here I have taken around 2 small tomatoes, nicely minced it. Now in this I will be adding 1 teaspoon of salt and a quarter teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And now in this I will be adding a bunch of cilantro. Just minced it nicely, and the chutney is ready. I'll keep it inside the fridge for cooling. I'll be frying the rolls again. This should be on high heat. Just have to make sure that the coating turns brown in color. This will help the tapioca mozzarella sticks to become crispy from outside, and from inside the cheese will melt. Only fry it for 2 minutes, not more than that, otherwise the cheese will start oozing out. This actually will be so good because your mozzarella sticks will be nice and crispy from outside, and from inside it will be soft. One tip is that when you're rolling the sticks, mozzarella sticks or the cheese sticks with the mixture, just roll it nice and tight. Okay, you can hear the sound, how nice and crispy it is, and let me now show you from inside. So nice cheesy from inside like this. Perfect. Let me show you another one. That is the reason why we add a thicker stick inside. Please try this recipe. This is such a good one. Tastes really good and different. Place a tulsi leaf on the sticks, and also this chutney which is nice and chilled now. This is so fresh with that fried mozzarella sticks. This fresh chutney just goes so well. So let's start with the other recipe. Here again I have taken half cup of tapioca granules, roasted them for 2 to 3 minutes on low heat so the rawness of it goes away, cooled it down, and then made a fine powder of it. Now in this bowl I emptied the powder. That's how fine powder it should be. Now take a little bit of water and add to this mixture. Gradually you have to add water. So initially I just took around a quarter cup of water and then mixed to this powder. Now after this I have added a medium size of boiled potato, grated it again so that the potato mixes well with this powdered mixture. Now I have taken again a bunch of cilantro and 2 to 3 green chilies. I have taken around 2 big chunks of ginger, nicely chopped it. I'm going to add it now. A tablespoon of chili flakes. Now I added around 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to mix it well. You have to mix it in such a manner that everything blends and mixes well properly. This will be a little dry mixture. Now I'm going to add around 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Mix again nicely. Now I have added around 3/4 cups of water, but that was gradual. You just need a thicker consistency of the batter to it, not too much thinner, otherwise the recipe won't come out better. So now this what I'm making. I'm going to make a thick batter out of it. Just mix nicely. And actually for this recipe we will be needing an appam maker, because that's what the recipe I'm making. So I will be using a saran wrap and covering it and keeping it aside for around 15 to 20 minutes. Now this is an appam maker which I have. Now I kept the heat on medium and I've greased it with a little bit of sunflower oil. You can even use ghee. And now this is how the batter turned out after the 15 to 20 minutes of resting. Now I'm going to add the batter equally distributed and then tap this appam maker on the stove. If you're using a gas stove, then do it away from the stove. I have an electrical one, so it's not a problem. So I have been cooking this for last 15 minutes. I'll drizzle a little bit of oil on the top. Everything you have to do without putting the lid on it, and this has to be on medium heat. If you're using a gas stove, I think it should be on low heat. Back side is ready, then the top side we do the same thing for 10 minutes. So this is how nice and golden looking our tapioca appam turned out. One of the healthiest way to eat the tapioca wadas. So I'll place a tulsi leaf and offer it at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Let's go to the next recipe. So this is a sweet recipe actually. During my childhood, mommy used to make this and even nani used to make them. So I've taken first water in the pot and then added around 1 liter of milk, and the heat is on low. I'm going to use half of that big lemon. If you're in India using a small lemon, then just use one of that. Now the milk started rising on low heat up. Now I'm going to squeeze the lemon. Just have to squeeze it evenly all around and keep the heat on low. Mix it. That's it. And now let it cook on medium heat. You just have to make sure that this whey gets cooked completely in this this paneer thing which has been created. I have added around 1/4 cup and then 2 tablespoons more of the sugar to it. When in India the milk would go bad, this is the kind of sweet they would make. So this is kind of a very traditional recipe. So if you see the reduced quantity of the whey, you have to cook it more until this whey turns to be completely absorbed or evaporated. Now during this stage, continuously we have to stir the mixture because do not want this cream to stick to the base. So once this is done, the entire whey has been evaporated or absorbed by the cream. Then just let it cool down for 5 minutes and then place it on a tray with a parchment paper. It's the best because that will help a lot in cutting the barfi. This is actually a milk barfi. Now even it out like this and then place a surround wrap and keep it in the freezer for around 35 to 40 minutes until it's completely chilled and little firm. So once this is done, I'm going to remove the surround wrap and then remove the barfi out. So this is the reason why I said to use a parchment paper. This makes the entire thing easy. Now it's firm, so I'm going to slice them vertical and horizontal. Very simple recipe actually, just made with 3 ingredients. And it tastes really good. So nice and soft, melts in the mouth. I'm going to place this on the plate and then also put a tulsi leaf and offer this at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. So I just hope you liked watching all the videos and please do show me your support. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.